Alrighty, no time like the present. Let's get the ball rolling. Get some ideas. Let me just set this thing up here. Do. Pull out the phone. Get the chat. Okay. Man, I kind of hate that when you open up the YouTube app, the first thing it does is push it to Reels. Yeah. Thanks. No thanks. Okay. Now, power. What are we gonna do? We're gonna continue working on this tutorial section. Maybe, if we're lucky, we might even get some progress done. Okay, first things first. I realized I was making a mistake on my tile. I've already corrected it, but when I drew this tile, which is the ground tile, I placed highlights and shadows. The problem is that highlights and shadows communicate which planes are visible to us. And I did the same exact thing on the wall, and that's why the tile looked weird. It's because the wall tile, technically, we're looking at it from above at a bird's eye view, which means we would only be able to see the highlights of the bricks, but not the shadows. And because I was placing both the highlights and the shadows on both of these, as a matter of fact, I might even have to remove the highlights from the ground as well, I was basically getting this inverted beans effect. If you don't know what that is, let's look it up. Chrome? Upside down beans, yeah. Yeah, look at this. Oh, fuck you, Reddit. Just let me see the image. There's something peculiar about those technically they're not beans, I think. They're what are they called? Peas. Upside down peas. Hmm. Something not quite right here. So yeah, that's basically what I was getting on the wall. And that's why the wall looked so weird and it didn't seem like it worked. Um okay, so I cleared that up. I might even have to remove the highlights off the stones here. But this seems to work now. Another idea I got is that maybe when the timer runs out, instead of darkening the portrait, maybe I can just change the styles of the characters to be skeletonized. I think that would look a lot more interesting than the whole thing just turning dark. And that's the thing. Um, Turning in dark works, but I think that if you have something custom, it just communicates a more more interesting occurrence. The normals were abused were in DirectX format. Yes, there you go. Welcome back, Steven. All right, so here's what I want to do. These characters are going to turn into skeletons. There we go. I'm also gonna... What the heck is '07? Gonna update me on the slang, man. Where's my playlist? Okay. Nice. Salute. Ah. I still don't know what the origin of it is, though. Okay, that's one. Mm-hmm. The beard also has a has a bone in it. Oh god. We don't have enough space for joints. Man, this is the music from Angler. Fuck, man, I want to come back to these projects so bad. Okay. Not a fan of these older soundtracks. Okay, I have a potential of doing something really funny here, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think a lot of people will appreciate it. Oh no. You can always get back to it later. I know. I know. Okay, hold on. I have a redeeming. I have a redeeming idea for this. Wait. Okay, hold on. Check this out. His afro's got a skeleton too. Yeah, okay. I'll keep the skeleton part, but we'll just turn that this. Oh, right. Hold on. The eyes are supposed to be dark. Gotta be consistent. Okay. Nice. Portraits. Okay. And this was the gameplay music from Disposable Ink, the little crate eating game, which I actually came up with a very nice way to present a story in that game. Um, by tossing the crates, you can toss them in various locations where you can unlock little notes, little data tapes, and they give you messages from the past, and you piece together a story by collecting those notes in a particular order. You kind of get to learn about the last days of the people who lived in the warehouse or worked in the warehouse. Okay, cool. So we have character ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hey, nice. They brought back the hold control to populate preloads without doing the stupid ass variable thing. Unless. Oh, no, it still does. Oh, that's interesting. It is now detecting if we're dragging and dropping it into an array. That's quite useful. Okay. Okay, so before we were setting the texture this way. We don't need to do that now. Character ID. Okay, hold on a sec. It is supposed to populate the... Oh, that's the reset. Okay, yes. This is where we reset it. So character ID, and then we want the populated format. Portrait texture, this is going to be the same thing. This is where we reset it. And then when we get off, set the texture empty canvas. Yes, that part still works, but when we run out and it's been wasted, it is supposed to do this. You can be using the skeletonized version. Okay, I believe right now it might assume the skeleton regardless of whether or not we actually claimed the character. Bam. And then, okay, and then it still did this. So we don't want to do that. We want to know if we have chosen. Okay, so if chosen, if not chosen, then we assume the texture of the skeleton. Oops. Oh yeah, Steven, have you seen the intro cinematic? Finally got it reclaimed from the nethers of the files. Okay, there we go. Okay. I think I need to get rid of this stuff. It's acting as noise. There we go. Okay, so that's good. After the portrait, after the character has been chosen, then we need to pop up the tutorial, which we started making it. There we go. I'm gonna call some of the older soundtracks out of the playlist. Destroy right button, or the right mouse button, if it's a keyboard. Turned out really cool. Yeah, the improvements actually helped quite a bit. Um, hmm. Didn't catch up with the second night stream. What the hell did I even do? Between the second one. I think I was just working on these prompts. Also, I'm not seeing the shadow effect on these layers. Hmm. Export filter layers. Is that what I need to do? Nope. Okay. Interesting. So I guess it might be a bug. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, because adjust export layer size to contents wouldn't really know what the size of the effect is. Okay, not like they couldn't make it figure it out, but okay. Hmm. I feel like this might not be the best way to communicate this. What if we do this? We're gonna have the words break portrait and then the keyboard shortcut uh show up all over the wall. That might work. Yeah, it's barely any smaller. We might be able to get the shadows here by merging it. Hmm. Oh yeah, the shadow definitely helps. Hmm. This is really an effective way to communicate this. Maybe we should do box pop-ups with a little bit of text. Hmm. Really don't have enough space for writings. Although we could technically not release the camera. We could say the camera will be locked until the players destroy their portraits and then the ground lifts up. In which case we can see all of the pop-ups. Maybe the button pop-up should appear above the player. Oh, jeez. Okay. Right. Okay, that could work. So it's gonna be invisible. Okay, the broken portrait's right here. Which means only when we break the portraits should the camera be released. And then we do that in the key prompt. Snapped. I'm going to do that in the tutorial here. Right here. Okay. Now. We need to make the text appear. Okay, when the timer runs out, we need to make the text appear. We'll do that here. So we'll do get tree. Okay, reveal break text. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. For transitions, I figure we can do something spooky. Maybe do like a lightning strike type thing. Color rect. Yes, okay. Oh, get tree current scene if I want to get the top node. Okay. It didn't crash, so it did run it. Oh, right. It's not done with modulate. It's got its own color value. Okay. Let's do 3 seconds. We don't have to go full white, I think. Zero 0.7. Okay. And then maybe we can also get the canvases to darken over a longer period of time. Nice. That actually makes it look like the lightning was highlighting the canvases. That's cool. Okay. Let's do this. So first lightning strike is going to be for changing the skeletons, and then we'll give it a break. Okay, so this is break canvas timer. So one time. Whoa. Ignore timescale. Engine timescale update, real time elapsed time. Interesting. New property here. Okay. The hair the hair rib cage. He's an extra vertebrate. But I think that big fucked up afro stays up all the time. Okay. We are going to give it 2 seconds delay. Maybe 3. Okay. So when this happens, you know, if we're going to be doing this a bunch of times, so might as well just make a function. Func. Lightning strike. And then we'll just call this function to make a lightning strike take place. So here, it'll take place. And then break label is going to be set to 1.0, so we can see it. Okay, maybe a little too fast. Okay. Cool. So we'll show the prompts within the player then. Probably should show it underneath, since the canvases are above. Okay. Hmm. I'm gonna attach a script of its own to the tutorial prompts. There's really no need for the player to be doing this. Okay, I'm gonna make it bounce. Right. I think we need to apply this to everything. For each label in get children. We're going to mark the tutorial as the active scene. Okay, that's a big load of nothing. That's because bounce time is a stationary value. Ah, dang it. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay. So we don't want these pop-ups visible all the time. And we're going to have to switch between different prompts too. Okay, we're going to hide every label. Okay, we're going to use the player's chosen input method to select either controller label or a keyboard label. And then do that. not yet. Right, okay, so that's... Might have to delay it until the second lightning strike comes in. Okay. How does the controller work? Should show us the other label. Let's see, so we're gonna do X and B. Oh, my controller did not connect in time. Okay, so X and B. Uh-huh. Null instance. Couldn't find the node. I think it might be controller 1 instead of just controller. Okay. Right. We're printing it before or after it actually crashes. Yep, so it's controller 0, but the good news is that it's separated by an underscore. So I should be able to do split using an underscore, and we're just going to use the first part. Nice. Right button. Okay, let's make the portrait actually highlight in white, just like the enemies do. We've got the damage white. And then we're applying the shader. Auto translate. No description. What the heck? There seems to be a bunch of new properties here. Cool. Okay. Why is it player shader? Shader material. Okay, I'm gonna have to save this as, but we have to then make it unique. Call it white damage. Local to scene, yes. White damage. Local to scene. All right. Okay. It's not complaining. Mm-hmm. But okay, but it could possibly be that it's because they're still shared. Nope. Wait, it stops running the code. That's why it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so we need to do this. It needs to take damage only when it's been chosen. I think so. Or when the clock timer's done. Okay, still not printing it. Hmm. Get parent. That gives us canvas. Material. Yes. Shader parameter. Damage white. Okay. No. I thought we were switching out texture, so maybe when we switch texture, the material gets knocked off, but that's not the case. It would have complained about it. Hmm. Oh, okay. So all of them are taking damage. They're not supposed to. It's supposed to be unique. But I suppose we're probably going to attempt to do this. Okay, come on. I suppose it is technically local to scene, but it's within the same scene. Alright, no big deal. It's a small shader. Nice. Okay. Except immediately it allows us to do it. So it's not really when the key prompt goes away. Reveal break text. I think it's got to be here. No, that starts. We're gonna rename it because it doesn't actually reveal it. It starts the timer that reveals it. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna make the damaging effect be controlled by the tutorial. Let's make a variable. Can damage portrait false. Okay, so we're gonna talk to key prompts using the node group. Talk to each one, enable the variable. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we need to hide all of the labels. And we can also do a lightning strike. This happens right here. Okay, now in terms of this rising ground, I actually want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a series of smaller islands that will cascade upwards. Where's my pen? Okay, we're going to try to cheat here to get this done as soon as possible. I'm going to open up this dungeon ground, turn it into a pattern. Use pattern, there we go. Get back here. And then with a fill bucket, we're just going to place this pattern here. Hello? There we go. Except we don't want scale. We want the original scale. Not gonna lie, this looks like ass. Hmm. You know what? If we're doing this, we might as well just use the tile. I kind of figured this would look a little bit different. Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep maybe, what, six pieces of ground? We'll have to lift them up from bottom up. Also, I don't think we have to do too many of these because eventually they'll just quit the screen. They're just not going to be visible. Okay. Cool. It bugs me that the tile set does not remember the tile selection. What the heck is that? Oh, they both have it. Okay. That's the last one. What? Oh, okay. See, this is why I didn't want to do it as tiles. Okay. Okay, there's 4 pieces of ground in each one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna probably automate this whole thing using a bunch of tweens. We're also gonna set it up in code. Set up what? Set up rising stones. Trail stones get children. The 4 path in. There we go. Then we need to lower each individual tile by like 200 pixels. So 4 tile in path get children. Okay. Now it exists a function get children. Okay, there we go. Next, we need to loop through this when we are supposed to raise all of the platforms. Okay. So we're going to do so using tweens. Okay, beautiful, except we want to do that one by one. So we want to delay each stone. We can set the delay here. Set delay. We're going to use this value here. Path index. Or no, not the whole path. We need to delay individual pieces. So var platform index. We are going to figure out the index of each platform. Oh, actually, we might want to just use a variable instead of figuring out the index, because the paths are technically in reverse. So we'll just do this. Set this to 0. And then at the end of this, plus equals 1. And then we'll just supply this in here for now. We don't need to redo the variable. Okay. Okay, that is cool, but it's doing it in the wrong order. Which means... Which means we actually achieved exactly the same thing that we would have gotten if we had gotten the index of the platform. Okay. Okay, we need to get the reverse of it. So you know what? Fine. We'll just do it like this. Platform index. We're gonna take the path, get child count, and then subtract from it the found index of the particular platform that we're looking at. So this should give us the same number in reverse. Nice. That's pretty cool. And this is going to be path distance agnostic. You'll hail for the title. Got it. It would be a long, long run. Yeah. Gonna have to work my ass for it. Okay, you know what else we want to do? We want to make it so that it fades. Tween property. So we're gonna do modulate. It is gonna go back to color white, which is the original color, which means here we need to make it black. Okay. Oh, interesting. We need to make sure that the effect is parallel. Would you make it off with 3D? Yeah, absolutely. It's got a fantastic 3D suite of tools, even for like procedural mesh generation. Lots of cool stuff. Okay. You know, that... I think maybe we're going to do this. We're going to make the transition take place over the course of 1 second, but we're going to add 2 seconds to the delay. We need to make sure this doesn't actually get detected as a collidable, because it plays the sound without actually being damaged. There we go. Nice. Okay. I might want to do that 2 seconds, actually. So 1, 2. Nice. Should we even actually do that? Is this on Steam right now? Not this one. Technically, I have it prepaid, but it's not public yet. Okay. You know what? We should only build the platforms for the players who actually exist. I think that's what we should do. Let's see here. Okay, how do we know if the player actually exists? We can bypass the path whose key prompt has not been selected. The indices should match technically. Chosen. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get the key prompt. They should exist in the same order. Okay, there we go. In which case, we need to get path index. Same concept. We'll get all the paths, find specifically the path we're looping through right now, and then we'll use that to get the index of a particular key prompt object. And then check if it is chosen, then maybe false, we do continue. So it's going to skip to the next iteration. Let's see if this works. And if you use Godot through Steam, yeah, it's identical. You could download it, you could do it through Steam, doesn't matter. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we should probably destroy any paths or make them invisible. We should make any path that has not been chosen invisible. Okay. Start reveal break text. We could do it here. Hide any paths for players that were not present. Okay. So if chosen is false, we're going to take the path and make it invisible. Okay. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. We still need to set up the collisions, by the way, because technically nothing is stopping us from walking outside of those regions. Okay. What do we need to do now? Oh. Easy does it. Right. The collision shape. We can actually make it be disabled. And we had this variable can damage portrait. We're going to get rid of it, because instead, we're just going to enable the collision shape. Make portrait damageable. Talk to the collision shape. Set disabled to false. And now, damage function, we don't need this anymore. Because with the disabled collision shape, we literally cannot do anything to it. Can damage portraits. We're just going to run the function now. Nice. Mm-hmm. So we got this extra floor, which technically doesn't need to do anything anymore. I'm gonna give the camera just a little bit of a motion, just a tiny bit of a shake. Because this is, well, it's very, very slow. We do have camera offset here. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what else I want to do? I want to mess around with the camera zoom a little bit. Let's see. Snap to zoom. Right, so if we mess around with this variable, it's going to affect the zoom, and it will transition to it slowly. Okay. Okay, so this is the portraits are broken. Before this, lightning strike. Start, reveal, break text. Let's just get a camera. Cam. Get tree. Get, oh, first node in group. And then we have the camera group somewhere. Camera carriage. Just need some ambience, not tunes. So we go to cam. Zoom snapped. Snap zoom is actually an export variable, which means we have set it here. 1.56. Let's see what this does. I think that should zoom in. Okay. 5.6. Let's do 4.5. It would also be nice if we could adjust the speed for dramatic effect. $20. Okay. Okay, so here we're going to set it to, let's say, 80, which should slow it down significantly just for this cutscene. Or it should crash entirely. Okay, nice. That's nice and slow. Zoom speed. I'm going to change the zoom when the destroy is revealed. $1.5. Okay. Maybe we can do a bit more dramatic. Let's do A. Wait a minute. I think the extra floor has moved somewhere. Yes, it did. Extra floor. We don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. I thought I didn't see a lightning strike when we broke the portrait. Oh, I did. Okay. Cool. That works. You know, we could actually place collision shapes, static bodies, at the bottoms of each tile, and then piggyback off of the tween. Piggyback off of the tween. When the tween finishes, we can use a tween callback to disable that collision shape so that the player doesn't magically go outside the boundaries of the path. SDL3 joystick input driver got merged to dot recently. Should see some nice features. Ah, interesting. Okay. Also, the sound of grass probably shouldn't be here. Okay. Here we're gonna need to make some walls. I think we only need upwards and sideways. I don't think we need anything extra. Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay. No, okay. Gonna need the full color spectrum so we can see if this works or not. I don't know if there's any point in sticking to... Yeah, I don't know if there's any point in sticking to a single tile, because technically there's supposed to be a tall metal fence here. Hmm. Okay. Technically a tile, but technically not a tile. I guess I'll just save it here. Okay, can I draw this on a separate layer? Jeez. Schrodinger's tile. Ugh. Okay, I think this should be enough to build. Did I export it to the wrong location? Dang it. Or maybe I didn't. There we go, just have to re-import. Oh. Dang it. It's supposed to treat groups as layers. Okay, there we go. The Y sorting's gonna help us. Nice. Maybe when all the players get to this zone, we can get the camera to zoom out a little bit more. go. I think a darker fence makes a bit more sense. Okay. Oh. Hello? What's this? Talk about Schrodinger's something. What is this? A Schrodinger's crash? Oh, there we go. Neither crashed nor hasn't crashed. Invalid access index 3, the base array node. Path index. Right, which makes sense because the array of paths would have started with 3. Dang it. Wait, why are we grabbing this melee damageables group? That doesn't make sense. Chosen. We're supposed to be grabbing the key prompts. Ah, okay. I suppose we never put it into a group. All right. Okay, so let's get it by that. This tells us if it's chosen or not chosen. Okay, let's try that again. 2 players. X and B. Okay, still crashes. Still tries to access item number 3. Could potentially be because when we finalize our selection, this object destroys itself. Yeah, we do. Hmm. 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 Okay, so we might have to keep it, but keep it disabled. Okay, wait a sec. Disabled, false. Here disabled becomes true. So if disabled is true, return. Here. return here. Return here. And I think that's it. Oh, okay. Interesting. We have to make it invisible. Oh, right. It's the parent that needs to be made invisible. Okay, well... Oh, right, I didn't wait long enough for this to happen. Nice. Okay, that's good. That blocks us. Players aren't really sorted on the y-axis, though. You know what? I might want to make the platforms also be darker. Something like this. Just create a bunch of contrast. Just gonna make a duplicate of it. So... 43, 178. Mm-hmm. And then 40, 35. Okay. Okay, that kind of works. That could work. What the? Pending on the wrong layer, I see. Okay, that's actually much better. We do need Y sorting though. Let's call this node Y sort. And then when the players are being deposited, which is from the key prompt, instantiate, we're gonna get tree, current scene, get node, Y sort, and then we're gonna add the players to that. We're gonna need some particles for the breaking of the portrait too. Interesting. Y sort enabled. Player center is at the foot. And our fence is in the middle. Which technically is the right place. Hmm. Interesting. Seems like the remote is not working. Oh, right there. The lightning didn't strike. because I think the tween was still running, the old one. Yeah, this is a little odd. The remote system is not functioning for some reason. Why sort? Child node is sorted, but its children rendered together on the same Y position. Hmm. See, they are being sorted amongst themselves. Right there. But as soon as I place a player here... Now, see, that's getting sorted. Maybe I'm not actually depositing the player in the Y sort. Get tree, current scene. Get node Y sort. Add child, player. Oh, right. Yeah, we have two places where we do that. Okay. There we go. So now we're sorted around it. So we switch from tween lightning strike to just smooth transitioning formula. Nice. Okay. So I think what we need to do here is maybe when all the players get into this zone, we're going to get the camera to pan out a little bit. And we need to give it more room for the players to do their thing. Okay, so we're going to track when the body enters and when the body exits. If the body is in group, and I think we have a, what, player group? Yes. Okay, then just gonna store all the players within the zoom zone. Beautiful. Okay. I think we can do this on the body entered. Just make it be event based. If the size of the array is the same as the master node's, I guess, character controller or character choices size, that should be good. Okay, in that case, we're gonna talk to the cam. Set the... Oh, this is where we can snap. We can snap the camera. Man, I need to be able to see the properties of the camera. Camera carriage. Let's give it a class. There we go. So now, if I go to the tutorial, and then tell the cam to be of type camera carriage, I should now be able to get all of the properties. There we go, snapped. Where should we snap the camera? We should snap the camera. Where? Just gonna duplicate it. So let's say somewhere right here. Okay, we're gonna make a note 2D recording its position. So cam snap point vending, since this is where the vending machine is going to be used. Okay. So here, take the global position of that node and apply it to the camera. Make sure snapped becomes true. Okay. Why? Oh, okay. That's fascinating. Right. Right. When we programmed the camera snapping, it actually simply used its global position as a snap position. Okay. Let's make a function called snap to position. We're going to give it the position. And then snapped becomes true. That should override this. So in that case, instead of having to do that manually, snap to position is a function which we will use. Okay, come on. And we'll feed the position into it. Man, you'd think that this stuff would take, like, I don't know, an hour, couple of hours. But once it all comes together, yeah, it's quite a chunk of work. Nice. Okay. We can also optionally provide the zoom level. Snapped zoom. It's going to be equals to we're going to make this value be null so that if it is not null, only then is it going to be applied. I think it's like 1.5. So let's do 1.7. Although I think that's going to make it look closer. Man, I liked it when the camera had zoom, where if you set zoom to 2, it shows twice as much. So it zooms out 2 times. Okay. Not bad. The shimmering of the camera is not very helpful. I just hope I don't forget to actually place the collision shapes. Okay. Plug in a whole bunch of controllers right now. At least 3. Okay, so XAB. Yes. Okay. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Nice. So only when all the players are in here is... Oh, I see a gap. That's not good. Only when all the players are inside, the thing will actually trigger. Oh, looks like there were 2 fences in the same spot. Nice. Okay, so now we need to place the vending machines in such a way where players can't accidentally interact with them. I think something like this will work. Nice. Okay, so the items... Shop inventory. Machete, pistol, Uzi, shotgun. Why is there a number next to each one? Shop inventory does not take... What? It doesn't take orbs. It takes ingredients. Which is a little weird. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean... Technically, we could have the players collect... Hmm. Okay, no, we can still work with it. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna have the player collect the pieces. Let's say 6 pieces for crafting something. Okay. Man, I feel like the stone here has too much noise in it. Like, there's too much contrast. Bone Harrier guy should get extended inventory because he could store stuff in his... Yeah, technically. Okay. I'm gonna try to bring in the color difference here. Okay, so this is gonna make the colors a lot more mute, but I also think that this will help with making it not as noisy. Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly made the characters a lot easier to read. Okay. Potentially this could work. You need to place the vending machines in places where they could actually be reached. Churning in. Have a good night. Sounds good, man. I think I'll do the same shortly. Okay, nice. We just need to get it to sort. Okay, cool. We'll finish the rest tomorrow. So we're gonna place some urns. We gotta break them, get the ingredients, pop them into the machine, have it produce an item, And then, yeah, that should be it. Okay, cool.